Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Hard not to be excited and happy about this. Look at how well SUI is doing. This is fantastic. We are seeing this Power 3 play out chart effectively come to fruition. Keep in mind, we had a fundamental catalyst that was required to start this because we were looking at dropping the bottom and getting real bad, real fast for this coin. At least the last time I looked at it. Now, it's as if that never happened and we're cranking upwards. It is kind of funny how much toxic comments I've gotten over the last 24 hours, just based on the simple fact that I'm really just going off the TA. Okay, so fundamental catalyst aside, SUI was due to drop. Now that it's not, we're going to look at some key level resistances, supports, and just some important ranges of how, where this coin could go here soon, because it is looking like it's on fire, ready to go. Definitely don't recommend shorting against this coin. I'm 50% again from my last two trades for SUI. We took a nice short from like 343 to 320, and that second short just didn't work out. So it's exactly why you trade with a stop loss, folks, and just learn to trade another day by not wiping out your entire account on one trade. Okay, so good stuff there, all good. But congrats to those of our community members who are heavy on their longs. What my spot bag at $2 is looking pretty prime right now. So, there's definitely some positive here. And the whole concept is that when we look at liquidation here, we can see $4 to $4.20. That's a heavy local area. A lot of people are shorting this coin here. Not a good idea now that we've broken through our local high and we've invalidated any potential consideration for a short. So you don't generally want to try to short against something that's broken its local high. All right. And that local high, by the way, is roughly about 385. So 385 could be the new low for us. We saw a lot of, loading up here at that 380 range just before the price took off. Keep in mind, once more, Trump is, slowly disassembling or reassembling the market, depending on how you look at it, based on how many times he tweets and how many things he does, in the office there. I think there's a crypto conference going on right now. What is it? He's making an announcement that I think that occurred just a little bit ago, but pretty much just a consistent thing we're seeing right now. Anytime he gets up and speaks, it's just going to, the market's going to go haywire. So you can't really expect that, or it's hard to anticipate what's going to happen next when that happens. But what is important is those key level supports and resistances. If we look at those, understand those, it helps kind of narrow down or increase the odds of success. And we take a look here. We got liquidation delta is almost at $1 billion, about 800 million right now. That's a pretty good amount. That's very substantial for this coin, implying you definitely don't want to short against this coin. Keep in mind, when we were considering a short, I was talking about those shorts, we were at about $500 million in liquidation delta to the downside. So that's how fast things can change. That was no less than 24 hours ago. When we take a look here, SUI, taking a look at open interest, SUI has a significant amount of open interest at the 344 and 362 range. So those are good areas of dollar cost average for the way down if the price were to pull back. Emphasis on the word if, we don't know if it will. We'd have to lose a lot of local highs. And obviously, more important to recognize that Bitcoin has to pull back or capitulate some for us to see that. But at this point, things are looking pretty solid in the overall sense. 344 and 360, just try to remember those numbers. Those would be good DCA targets if the price were to retrace. I'll send a playout chart here soon on our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord just to give you some perspective on areas of retracement. So I'll update our fib levels and everything there. So for right now, I'm just going to go ahead and remove the previous ones. But at this point here, the important thing to recognize is that there's a significant amount of volume. You don't really want to trade against that volume. And once more, we do see this power of 3. We got our accumulation, manipulation phase, and of course, the expansive wave up. All right. A lot of coins are kind of showing this pattern, this one more specifically, just because it's running really hard. We're up 18% on the day. So the daily time frame here, if we look, we can see we've broken over 70 in the RSI. Bitcoin's done the same thing. In fact, majority of altcoins are doing that right now, where it just really reinforces the fact that you don't want to take a short. What I'm looking for personally is to take a long when the price pulls back to its local high. The problem is with this coin, it may not happen because we got our local high at about 356. That's our previous one-day candlestick closure. While it's super common for the price action to retrace to those levels, and I would be absolutely very interested in a long there. In fact, I'm just going to go ahead and add an alert for that just to be safe. We're in a position right now where it's probably less likely for that to occur, right? And that's just me being a conservative trader waiting for opportunities that don't really happen all that often. But again, the odds of success are higher if you wait for these trades, but it can be difficult because the price will run on you and you may not get filled. Anyways, the whole point of me mentioning that 350, roughly 350, 360, we're seeing a lot of confluence there for local highs as well as some open interest areas. So those are good areas to consider adding to your position. All that said, though, we've conversion the MACD, stochastic swinging up. There's just every single reason. I don't even need to go into it here. dang near everything is not just moderately overextended on smaller time frames, but more important, we're just seeing a consistent break of resistance, right? Not just a local high here on the 4-hour at about 380, but more importantly, we're over 70 on the RSI on the 4-hour too. So this doesn't really tell us that you want to take a short position. In fact, it absolutely tells you do not short. If you take a look here with previous time frames, when the price action broke above what was it? It was 290, then it ran towards 385. That's what it ran from 280 to 395 after it broke 70 in the RSI. So now that we've broken through this threshold, I think the 420, 430 range makes a ton of sense based on this upper liquidation range. Even 450 is on the target. Okay, so that's kind of a possibility. If we do take a look at the bigger picture too, just keep in mind 536, 525 roughly is that high, that weekly candlestick closure there. So if we do surpass that $4.50 mark, 520 could be the next area there. Either way, I'll post a playout chart here soon. Make sure you check that out. Thanks again so much for the awesome feedback, and even the trolls, the occasional ones. I know you're just, you're playing around and you're kind of joking around too, and it's okay. I totally get it. I'm not perfect by any stretch, folks. Absolutely not. But the odds of success are higher if you try to focus on some of these areas I've talked about here. So just make sure that you're cautious and careful and not being just a kind of a ridiculously emotional person when it comes to trading. Right now, emotions are very, very high for a lot of people, and they're just throwing money. It's like literally, shut up and take my money is what's going on right now. So just know that there's always a flip of the coin, or another side of that coin, and what goes up must come down. So just adjust your stop losses higher as you continue to profit, and make sure that you consider using trailing stop losses. That's generally what we use in our community, and it works out quite favorably. Either way, last but not least, Bitunix folks, to my community members using them, May 14th is the cutoff for this deposit reward bonus. Be sure to check it out. It's really easy money, futures bonus. It's kind of nice. All right, hope you have a good one. Thanks so much for your time. We'll see you soon. Take care.